No one is winning with ISO. Okay, that's not true, but I'm sure you've seen your favorite content creators playing him on their ISO to Radiant challenge. While that might make you think he's good, I'm here to tell you your favorite creators are good at the game and playing him for content, but ISO is terrible in ranked, and players are not winning with him. And I have the numbers to back me up. According to blitz.gg, since ISO's release, in every single rank, ISO's win rate is below 47%, and the lower rank you go, the lower the win rate. Most people will see those numbers and think, oh, he's just a new agent and players still haven't figured out how to play him yet. That is true, but there are many reasons why he might not be the best pick. After playing ISO in the creator playtest, I couldn't tell if he was going to break the game on release like Chamber or have a 0% pick rate like Deadlock. In the playtest, you don't get a great idea of how an agent plays in a ranked setting since the ranks are so spread apart and everyone is playing for content. So when ISO came out in ranked, I insta-locked him for a week straight. And in this video, I'll cover everything I learned while playing ISO in Radiant ranked, so you can decide at the end if you want to main him or not. Also, if you want to hit Immortal/Radiant, I and a team of Radiant coaches with VCT experience can come and personally help you. We help players rank up 5 divisions in 8 weeks, guaranteed, inside of our coaching program. If you don't rank up 5 divisions while you work with us, you'll get a full refund. There's still about 30 spots out of 80 left for our next cohort, so use the link below to book a free call with me or one of my coaches to see if you'd be a good fit. When ISO initially came out, I thought his Contingency would be the best ability to enter the game since Chamber's TPs. You get a wall that absorbs bullets and lets you run it down. How could it not be good? Well, I was very wrong. His wall is the most disappointing ability, and I wish Riot spent more time on the mechanics and design of it. It isn't wide enough to block off lines of sight, making aggressive plays on defense or offense feel really clunky. I felt like trying to get value out of it on my own was challenging, and it was even harder to coordinate with my teammates. On attack, the wall is excellent for taking space and scaling up while isolating angles. Right? Wrong. The wall feels weaker than getting punched by your 2-year-old cousin. Enemies can use the wall to their advantage by using it as cover to get into an area of the map you wouldn't expect them to be in. This ability is very strong when scaling out of CT. It allows you to isolate fights and disrupt enemy crossfires. If you're able to retake the site without using your wall, you send it in the direction you think players will be playing post-plant from. The wall lasts 5 seconds and it takes 3.5 seconds to get the spike to half. This means you will always be able to get the spike to half while taking 0 damage from players spamming you. If Riot wants to shake up the meta, they need to make this ability better for solo queue and making plays on your own. The easiest way to make ISO stronger is by completely changing the mechanics/design of his wall. It needs to be the same mechanics as Harbor Wall, being able to curve it and stopping it when you want, which will allow players to be more creative in taking space and fights. Now, the one ability that would be his weakest ended up being his best by far, which is his Q, Undercut. His Q is like Omen's Blind, but it travels twice as fast. It does affect your teammates and will pass through any solid objects, including walls. It's very simple to use and does not need practice or lineups, but it travels wherever you throw it. This means you need to account for elevation changes when throwing this, or it will go into the abyss like your RR after insta-locking ISO without watching the rest of this video. The most common way I use this was on attack to gain quick control of an area, and on defense to stall the enemy team's rush. Don't waste it in the same area your teammates throw their abilities, unless it's damaging abilities like Raise Nade or Silva Shocks. For example, on Haven, when taking A site, I used Undercut to hit Graffiti and the CT run out, while my Omen used their blind to hit short cubby and default. This ability is quick, and if your teammates move around like they're stuck in a stage slow, it'll be tough to get value out of it. But thankfully, it's easy for you and your duo to coordinate plays like I did on Bind. I used Undercut to hit all of Hookah, and my Raise Nade at the side they played on, punishing these players that try to contest his space. Riot will end up nerfing this ability probably and slowing down the travel speed like what they did to my BFF Omen, so make sure you abuse this one while you can. ISO's signature E ability double tap makes me kinda sad. I'd rather play Reyna for her heal, but there's an easy change Riot can make. This ability is great if the enemy will peek after their teammates die, but in ranked, everyone baits and won't swing until 5 seconds later. Getting a kill while taking a bunch of damage and having to flick to an orb that activates his shield that breaks easier than SpongeBob's glass bones isn't one that excited me or made me think, man, I'm glad I picked this guy. Even if you spray transfer your bullets to the orb, you still have to readjust your crosshair onto the next enemy that's swinging you, while also accounting for your weapon spray accuracy. In streamers' Twitch chats, I've seen people saying, yeah, but you can take a raise ult or op shot. This ability is so good. Sure, my shield tanked damage from an ult or op shot, but that isn't something that happens every round. With my signature ability, I want to get value out of it every single round. Now, being able to fight with my shield active makes it more rewarding than the dismiss, and as long as enemies keep peeking at me, I could use it for the entire round. Reyna is the only other agent in the game that makes you get a kill before you can use your signature E ability, and that makes this guy kinda stink. And easy solution to ISO's double tap is what Riot did with Jett. Press E to activate your shield and it starts a 7.5 second timer, and during the timer your shield can be active, but after the timer is over the shield is gone. This will make players look for fights and ensure you get value out of it every single round. It would be easier to use double tap to entry onto site for your team and give players a reason not to pick Jett or Raze, but in the end it felt terrible taking a bunch of damage to get my shield and then having players break it before I could even get my crosshair around their head. One cool fact is that while your shield is active, you take 0 fall damage and the shield will not break, so you can build up to a height and jump. Oh wait, wrong game. Now let's talk about his ult. A pure 50-50 aim duel has every Ascendant player foaming at the mouth waiting to lose it with kill contract. It's 100 times better on attack than defense. When taking sides, I pulled the Sentinel into a 1v1 arena, suppressing their abilities, letting my teammates take the site versus one player instead of two. Even if I lose a 1v1, let's be real, I never lose a 1v1. Oh, he beat me! My team is on site and killed that player when they got out. On defense, I avoided taking 1v1s with my ult, but when I knew the enemy was using jet knives or chamber op and even shotguns, I pulled them into the arena no matter the side because that is free kills. On eco rounds, I used kill contract to stop my teammates from trolling and dying to low buy guns, and on retakes, I would use it to grab players trying to play lineups or using their ultimates to get my team off the spike. Like his entire kit, kill contract only gets me excited to use it in certain scenarios. But just to end things on a good note, the best thing about his ultimate is that it's a 6-point ult. The first takes 7 points to get, but after that, if you pull someone into the arena, it's only a 6-point ult going forward, because going into the arena and losing or winning will always get you 1 point.
He's got.
ISO isn't an agent that's going to play a massive part in shifting the meta to end 2023. You'll see your favorite creators playing him to try and farm content, but over the next few weeks, you'll see less and less of him like Deadlock. With ISO came nerfs to Raze and in a previous patch, nerfs to Jett. But even with these changes, ISO will not be able to take their spots in your ranked game. The starter agents in Valorant are too strong and too versatile for players to pick agents like ISO over them. Riot has a massive problem on their hands when it comes to new agents and trying to get them into the meta, which brings me to my last question. Will Riot ever introduce new agents to the game that will dethrone Raze and Jett? It's going to take a long time, but I hope to see it in the future. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, and I'll be giving away a free battle pass.